You know, at BiggerPockets, there are two main issues that almost everybody who comes to us has. Number one, they can't find any deals. Number two, they can't find any money. Well, today I'm not going to focus on the second question there. I am going to focus on the first, about how do I find good deals? Because after all, if you find a good deal, you can find the money to back that up. In other words, if you find a great deal, you should be able to find a way to put it together. So really, everything comes down to finding a deal. Well, my name is Brandon with BiggerPockets.com, and today I want to share with you my top 10 strategies for finding great real estate deals, even in a competitive market. All right, so I'm gonna go through all 10 of these. I'm gonna use this little whiteboard here just because it makes the organization just a little bit easier. I'm gonna walk through each one and you guys can kind of learn a little bit about different strategies for finding deals. Now keep in mind, you don't need to do all 10 of these in order to find a deal. In fact, just focus on one of these right now and rock that, become really, really good at that one avenue. And if you wanna branch out to more and more, then you can always do so. But let me give you the list of the top 10 that I use to find a good deal. So number one, let's go back over here. Are we on screen right here? I think so. Let's go number one. So the first thing we're gonna talk about today is what's called the MLS. It stands for the Multiple Listing Service. Now, maybe you're familiar with that or not. The multiple listing service is basically where agents put their properties for sale. So if you're a real estate agent, you're probably going to list it for sale on what's called the MLS. It's where, again, if you're like, hey, I'm going to go and list my property for sale, the agent is going to put it on the multiple listing service. So all other agents can go look at it. Now, of course, that's where most people in the world go to look for deals, or at least in America. And so it's the biggest playground. There's a lot of properties there, but there's a lot of people looking as well. So if you want to do good on the MLS, you got to be a little bit smarter than the average bear. So I got 4 tips for doing that. First of all, I would recommend finding an investor-friendly agent. If you have an investor-friendly agent, they can help you find the best deals that are out there because they understand what you're looking for. So first tip is that. Second tip is look for what's called hidden potential. Now, hidden potential means you're looking for things that nobody else sees in a property. For example, when I look at a property, I might want 3 bedrooms do well in my area, both for rentals and flips. And so I want a 3-bedroom. I'm going to look for 2 bedrooms though, that have a lot of square footage because maybe there's some hidden potential in that other room. All right, number 3, look for fixer-uppers. A fixer-upper obviously is something that needs to be fixed up. A lot of people don't like buying them because they're a lot of work. There's a little bit of risk involved. So if you can look for a fixer-upper, you can sometimes find an amazing deal that way. And then tip D is going to be either the first or last. Be the first or last in a deal. When you're trying to buy in the MLS, there's a lot of competition. So you either need to be the first one to jump at a deal, which means get automatic alert set up for deals that match what you're looking for. When deals come on the market, don't delay, don't wait, rush, go get them. Or be the last one. In other words, wait and look for deals that have been on the market for months and months and months, maybe even years, and go and negotiate on those ones because nobody else is looking at them anymore, so the competition is a little bit lower. All right, moving on to number 2, I want to talk about something called driving for dollars. Now, driving for dollars is this idea where you get in your car and you go out and you drive and you look for vacant properties. Now, what does a vacant property look like? You might be looking for something that has overgrown lawn, like, up to your waist or even like, up to your shin, whatever. Like something that's like clearly has not been mowed in quite a while. Looking for piled up newspapers, looking for boarded up windows, looking for windows that have no curtains inside. That can be a really telltale sign. If there's just no curtains in any window, no blinds, no nothing, just open. I look for little white pieces of paper that's on the windows. A lot of times that means there's some kind of legal action going on there. Again, look overgrown, like just junk in the yard that looks like it's been there a long time. Those are just a few indications, and the more you do it, the more you'll realize what a vacant house. They kind of stand out like a sore thumb, not too hard to find. So what you're doing when you're driving for dollars is you're looking for these properties. Then you're going to go home and research. You're going to look for the owner of the property. You can usually find it online on your county assessor's website. You want to contact the owner and just hit him up with either maybe a letter, or if you want to call him, if you can do some phone number research and call them and say, or email them or mail them and say, hey, You want to sell. Not everyone's going to sell, but some of them might. All right, moving on to number 3, something that a lot of experienced investors are doing today, and it's something called direct mail marketing. Now, maybe you've heard this term before. Direct mail marketing is something done in a lot of different industries. For example, car dealerships love doing it, right? So you get a piece of mail, you get this piece of mail that says, "Congratulations, you won a new car." And you didn't really win the car, but they're just trying to get your attention on this paper that maybe you'll go test drive a car, and then if you test drive it, maybe you'll end up buying it. So it's just like this funnel that they're trying to get. They mail out thousands of letters, hoping a few people end up test driving and a few of them end up buying. Same thing with real estate. You send out thousands of letters, hoping that a few people will call you to sell their property, and then a few of those calls will turn into sales. So you might send 1,000 pieces of mail. You might get 30 phone calls, 20 phone calls, 50 phone calls, 10, I'm not sure. Depends on your area and how good your marketing is. And then at the end of the day, you might only close maybe 1 deal, 2 deals, 5 deals, no deals. It depends. It's just that same sort of funnel. So direct mail marketing can be a great way to scale up your business, because if you want more deals, just spend more money on letters. Now, typically a letter might cost you around $1, somewhere in the vicinity of $1 to send, including postage. And, you can save some by doing the work yourself, or you can spend more and have somebody else do it all for you. A lot of companies out there that will handle direct mail marketing for you. So keep in mind that with direct mail marketing, you want to focus on 4 things. The first one is your list. The second thing you want to focus on is the actual mail that you send out. So your list is who you send to. So maybe absentee landlords or people that are 90 days late on their mortgage, or you can buy lists online. Secondly, mail. What are you going to mail? Postcards, letters, whatever. C is going to be to focus on your funnel. What that means is focus on every part of that. How many letters did you send? How many phone calls did you receive? How many, deals did you close? So you work on that funnel and always keep track of that funnel. Where are you at? How can you improve it? If you got 50 phone calls out of 1,000 letters, that's 5%. What could you do to get 7% or 8%, right? So you work that funnel. And fourth, or D here, you've got the follow-up. Focus on your follow-up. Because the key with direct mail marketing is you never usually get the deal on your first mailing. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you get lucky. One of my first mailings I did last spring to a part of my list, first mailing got me a deal. But that doesn't always happen, right? So the follow-up is what's important, is remail these people over and over and over. You might want to mail them, every other month or every 3 months, whatever you decide, for years. And eventually when they're ready to sell, who are they going to go to? Somebody they've never heard of? Or maybe contact the guy who's the house, or the guy or the girl who's the house buyer. So again, that's kind of how direct mail marketing works. Moving on to number 4, we're going to talk about wholesalers. Now, let me write it down here. Now, a wholesaler is somebody who goes through all of these things that we're going to be talking about today, and they do a lot of different strategies to find good deals. Now, once they find them, they don't actually want to buy them. See, a wholesaler is a middleman, so to speak. A wholesaler finds good deals and then basically just sells them, flips them, or however transaction they want to do it. They get the deal to an end buyer. And so there's a lot of wholesalers out there today that are out there looking for good deals, and they're just going to mark it up a little bit. Maybe they get the deal under contract for $50,000, and then they're going to see if you want to buy it for $55,000. Now they make a quick $5,000 just by marking it up, but $55,000 might be a great deal for you. Or, $200,000, $500,000, whatever, the numbers are irrelevant. But the point is, wholesalers can be a great way to potentially find deals, but you got to find the wholesalers. So I'd recommend network. You got to go to local real estate clubs, network on BiggerPockets, find people who are excited about wholesaling and talk to them. Tell them what you're looking for, what kind of deals you're looking for. All right, moving on. Number 5, and that is auctions. So an auction, obviously, you all know what that is. It's where you go and you bid, right? But there's mainly a couple types of auctions that you're dealing with in the real estate space. First of all, you're going to be dealing with what's called online, I'll even say online private auctions. Now, what an online private auction is something like auction.com, right? So auction.com is a site where you can go and you can bid on properties. A lot of bank repos, a lot of banks that are, repossessed properties are going to resell them. A lot of times they go through companies like auction.com to sell their stuff. Now, there's another type of auction that you could potentially look at, and those are government auctions. Whatever, you get the point. A government auction is like a tax sale, or maybe the government has a a foreclosure sale, a sheriff's sale. Usually those are done in public auctions. A lot of times they're actually done at the courthouse in your local county. So contact your county administration building, find out who's in charge of the government auctions, and get to know them. I mean, I don't know if you can take them out to coffee or lunch or just have a conversation on the phone with them. Go sit down in their office. Figure out when's the next auction, how does it work, and then go attend. You don't have to buy your first time, just go attend. See who's there, see what kind of networking you can do there. And the more you learn, the better you can get at auctions. All right, moving on to number 6. Let's go over here for that one. So number 6, a lead website. So a lead generating website is a website that you own that has a I buy houses in these areas kind of a message. And so there's a number of ways that you can create a website like this. You know, potential, if you are a little bit tech savvy, you can maybe use WordPress to do it yourself. Not sure I'd necessarily recommend that route because then you got to upkeep it and make sure it's all working well unless you're really technically savvy. Or you can find something maybe like Wix.com or Squarespace. So Squarespace and Wix are both sites where you can create websites, kind of like with WordPress, but you can create a website, but you don't have to have any technical knowledge. But you do have to do all the writing yourself. You have to know what you're getting into, and make all the pages. And within a few hours of work, you can probably create a decent looking lead generation website. Now, option C, though, if you really want to go less work than that, there's a site that I use called leadpropeller.com. My buddy Danny Johnson runs that, and they're actually I don't want to call them a sponsor, but they have a perks program through BiggerPockets. BiggerPockets Perks is for our pro members. You get a discount. So Lead Propeller is one of those companies that if you happen to be a pro member on BiggerPockets, you can get a discount with them. But what Lead Propeller does is it gives you basically everything you need for a lead generating website, and it's actually designed by real estate investors. And so you don't have to do all your own writing and making it sound real good. You just basically kind of fill in the blank and publish it up there, and you get it. Now, granted, Lead Propeller is going to be probably the most expensive option, followed by a Wix or Squarespace, followed by WordPress is probably the cheapest. But if you're technically savvy, you can do A or B. If not, look into something like option C. All right, moving on. Let's go to number 7. We're going to call number 7 simply Craigslist. So Craigslist, as of course you know, is the online classified section. There's millions of people using it all the time, and you can actually use it in 2 different ways to find real estate deals. First of all, you could post an ad. Right? So you can post an ad on Craigslist and tell people, hey, I'm looking to buy houses in this area. There's even usually a real estate wanted section of Craigslist. You can post it in there. But another way that maybe would work even better, depending on how you do here, but option B would be to actually respond to rentals. So what I mean by respond to rentals is find people who are like mom and pop landlords that are trying to rent their properties out and contact them and say, hey, I saw you were trying to rent your property out. I'm not interested in renting, but I am looking to buy a property. Are you interested in selling? Can we have that conversation? And yeah, most people will probably say, yeah, no thanks. But you'll probably make some good relationships in the meantime. And every once in a while, you're going to hear that landlords say, you know what, I actually was thinking about selling that property. Now that you bring it up, what do you think it's worth, or what do you want to pay? And get that conversation going. And again, it's kind of like a funnel, right? You might call 10 people, only one might say a maybe, but you have enough of those calls, and eventually that maybe you'll get a yes out of that. So again, Craigslist can be a good way to do it. Another closely related to one of that would be an actual newspaper. Now, I know newspapers are kind of dying. It's kind of like a dying industry, but there are still a lot of people out there who use a newspaper. Now, there's a few ways, just like Craigslist, you can use a newspaper. You can post an ad, or you could respond to an ad, or respond to rentals. Now, some people actually list their house for sale in the newspaper, like for sale by owner. They might just list it there, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. But you can also, same thing as Craigslist, you can post an ad, or you can respond to rental ads in the newspaper and contact people. The great thing about Craigslist and newspapers is the landlords in there, especially if they're like mom and pop landlords doing their own rentals, they give you their phone number right then and there in the in the ad. Like, how much easier is it for you to track down owners of properties when they give you their phone number? So again, set up a reminder in your phone. I mean, pull out your phone. Well, it's over there. Pull out your phone right now and set a reminder for Siri or whoever your Google whatever is, voice activated thing, and say, hey, remind me every Monday at 4 p.m. post an ad on Craigslist. Or remind me every Tuesday at 5 p.m. read the newspaper ad, classified ads. So you do that every single week, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 a year, you might be able to pick up some more deals that way. All right, so moving on to number 9, and that is print. Whoa, that's a weird P. Print. So print ads are anything like you could rent a billboard. I know some investors just get those big billboards, and they can actually be cheaper depending on your area. They can be cheaper than you actually think they are. So maybe you get a big billboard that says that you buy, houses in distress or whatever. That you buy any house, cash for houses, whatever. There's also things like just ads that go on your car, on the back of your car, on the side of your car, just magnetic ads you can get for $20 or $30 online. Or you could wrap your car if you really want to go fancy. Maybe you want to sponsor a bench somewhere, right near a park, and you get the bench with your name on it. Maybe you want to get little, just what they call bandit signs. Now, bandit signs are kind of taboo around BiggerPockets because, frankly, in a lot of areas they're illegal. Bandit signs are those signs usually about 3 feet by 2 feet, kind of political size, and people stick them everywhere on billboard. On what are they called? Telephone poles, or in yards that don't belong to them. They post them all over the place. In a lot of areas, they are illegal to put out there. So if they're illegal in your area, don't put them out there. They just kind of dirty up neighborhoods, and the government doesn't like it much, and you put your phone number on there, they're going to find you, right? But there are ways to use bandit signs potentially good. For example, you could rent space on somebody's yard. You could actually ask somebody, hey, can I put this in your yard? And if I get a deal from it, can I give you $100 or $500 or whatever you do? Or can you rent space on the side of a building? Talk to the shop owner, be like, hey, can I put this here? And if I get the deal, I'll give you $1,000 or whatever, right? So there's ways to keep it legal without trashing your whole town and trying to break the law. All right, and moving on to number 10, something that I call passion. So passion is exactly what it sounds like. It's being passionate about real estate, it's about loving real estate and wanting to tell everybody you know what you do and why you do it and what you're looking for. So the funny thing is, when you tell people what you want, people respond by trying to help you get that. I mean, think about it. If your friend came to you and said, hey, I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for something that's maybe like in the accounting field, somewhere within 10 miles of here, what are you gonna do? You're gonna say, nope, sorry. Or you're going to start thinking, do I know anybody that might be hiring? Do I know any companies around here that might take this person? You're going to start thinking because they gave you something specific they want and they're passionate about it. Well, your family and friends are the same way. So let everybody you know that's around you, go put on your Facebook wall today that you're looking for real estate deals. Maybe you're looking for trashed ones. You're looking for ugly properties that are nasty and whatever. Get out there and let people know that you are an investor and that you love real estate. In fact, that's how I got my 24-unit apartment building, was just telling everybody I know that I was looking for an apartment building. And lo and behold, somebody I was talking with, they said, we actually have an apartment building. We are thinking about selling. And that turned into a great relationship, which turned into a great deal for me and a great deal for them. And it all became out of passion. So get passionate, tell people what you want, know what you want, and then go out and get it. So we just went over a list of 10 different ways you can find deals. Is that all the ways you can find deals? Of course not. There are a lot more creative strategies. I hear them all the time. If you want to know more of how people are finding deals today, jump into the BiggerPockets Podcast. It's a completely free podcast. We host it every single week. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, the Google Play Store, all over the place. Even YouTube, we got our podcast there. And listen how other investors are doing it. Strategies change all the time, but the more you learn about how to find good deals and the more avenues you got going, the more deals you're going to get. So if you are having trouble right now finding deals, like I said at the beginning of this video, you don't have to focus on all 10. Just focus on one that you think you're going to master. You say, I'm going to go after this one right now, whether it's driving for dollars or direct mail marketing, working with a wholesaler, whatever. Just start getting those leads coming in. And remember, not every deal is going to work out. Just because somebody calls you on the phone doesn't mean it's going to work out. Just because you put a sign somewhere doesn't mean they're going to call you. It's all about marketing, is about getting your name out there, letting lots of people know about what you do, what you want, and hoping that a certain percentage of them end up calling you, and even a smaller percentage of them are going to end up selling to you. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a quick favor, give me a thumbs up on this video, let YouTube know that there was value here. I love that. Also, if you could do me a favor and join BiggerPockets. We're the free real estate investing social network, marketplace, and information hub. More information than you could ever read in a lifetime about real estate investing right at your fingertips. So go to BiggerPockets.com right now to sign up. And lastly, if you enjoy this whole idea of real estate investing and you want to get started, you're not really sure where to go next, you want to learn more, every single week on BiggerPockets, I host a free webinar and we talk about all different aspects of real estate, how to find deals, how to fund them, multifamilies, flipping houses, all that stuff. If you want to learn more, come to next week's webinar. You can sign up BiggerPockets at biggerpockets.com/webinar. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. I hope you guys have an excellent week, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for being a part of BiggerPockets. Cheers.